Krista Monique here, and I am finally back with another video. So guys, if you are new here to my channel, welcome. I hope that you can hang out a bit, stay a while, and subscribe. I would love to stay connected with you all. And if this is not your first time tuning in and you're returning, then welcome back. Okay guys, so this video will be a bit different from other videos on the channel. Not your standard beauty topic, but I will be looking to kind of expand the content just a bit. So what most of you may not know about me is that I do maintain a full-time career in health technology or health IT. So I plan, coordinate, and manage technical infrastructure projects for the #1 ranked health system in my state. So with that, I recently decided to pursue my PMP, which is the Project Management Professional certification. And guys, it was quite the undertaking, but I was able to pass on my first attempt. So the PMP is an acclaimed, internationally recognized certification for project managers. And guys, the PMI does intentionally maintain very high standards for this certification. So before you can become eligible to take the exam, your application must be accepted by PMI. So part of that application process includes demonstrating about 3 years of what's called non-overlapping professional project management experience. You need about 4,500 hours of project-led or project-directed experience. And then you also need about 35 hours of formal project management training. So having said all of that, there is about a 50% failure rate for first-time test takers. So today I will be sharing with you how I was able to pass on my first attempt using 5 very practical tips. Alright guys, so if you want to hear how I was able to pass my PMP on my first attempt, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so tip number 1, you want to make sure that you purchase an exam prep book. Okay, so the exam prep book that I purchased is called the PMP Exam, How to Pass on Your First Try. This is written by Andy Crow. And guys, I have to tell you, this exam prep provides all of the information that project managers need to thoroughly prepare and pass the exam. I truly found this book to be a comprehensive study resource. So it includes all of your processes, all of your ITTOs, your inputs, your tools, your techniques, and your outputs. It gives you inside secrets and tips and tricks for the exam. You'll find that the PMP questions are very tricky. This book provides about 25 practice exam questions at the end of each chapter. So guys, I found that very helpful. Not only does it give you the questions, it gives you the answers, and it actually explains and provides additional context regarding the answer. This book also provides a 200 question simulated mock exam, which is very helpful. So when you show up for the actual exam, you get about 4 hours to complete 200 questions, and the simulated mock exam at the back of this book is excellent. Okay guys, so also you want to make sure that you purchase the PMBOK. Now I know some people say that you will not pass the exam if you don't read this book. I have to be honest and tell you guys, I did not read this book in its entirety. My primary study resource was the exam prep book, but if there was a specific topic that I wanted to read up on a bit further, then I will pick up the PMBOK. So I really just utilize the PMBOK as a reference. Okay guys, tip number 2, you want to make sure that you develop a study plan. So figure out how long you want to study, whether it be 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks. I think I did about 8 to 10 weeks. I sat down, I created a plan by knowledge area. So there's 10 knowledge areas that you want to focus on for the PMP. So I sat down, I broke out my study guide into 10 different knowledge areas. I made sure to include time for practice quizzes and time to study my formulas. I dedicated about 2 to 3 hours per day. Now some days I wasn't able to meet that goal, in which case I would find myself doubling up on the weekends. So probably spending about 6 to 8 hours on the weekends, but during the week I was only able to do about 2 to 3. So map it out, plan it out, stick to the plan. Okay guys, tip number 3 is create a brain dump. Now you're probably saying, okay Krista, what is a brain dump? Think of a brain dump as getting all of the information out of your head and writing it out on a piece of paper so that you can focus on one idea at a time. So what's going to happen is on the exam day, when you show up, you're going to be given a sheet of paper. So on one side of the paper, you're going to want to write out all of the formulas that you memorized. On the other side of the paper, you're going to want to write out all of your 10 knowledge areas, all of your 5 process groups, and then all of your 49 processes within the 5 different process groups. So during your study time, you want to make sure that you're also factor in time to sit down and actually write out your brain dump. It should take you about 8 to 10 minutes to write everything out. The way that I was able to memorize my formulas and my processes was by utilizing mnemonics, and I will link a video down below that I found very helpful, helping me to memorize the content. Okay guys, so tip number 4. Tip number 4, you want to make sure you download an app for practice. So I use a free app called, I think it was called PMP Test or PMP Practice Test. I'll link everything down below, but the app had about 1,200 practice questions, and the practice questions were divided by knowledge areas and levels. So for an example, for scope management, there were 10 levels within scope management. So you had to pass level 1 before you can move on to level 2. You had to pass level 2 before you move on to level 3. Another thing I liked about the app is if you answered a question wrong, it would provide you an instant explanation as to why the answer is, as to why you got the answer wrong, what the correct answer is, and it'll also give you a page reference in the pin box to go back and read for additional context. So I found that very helpful. Okay guys, the last tip, tip number 5, is that you want to make sure you pass at least 3 mock exams before going to take the actual exam. Trust me guys, you do not want to show up to this exam without having first practice at least 400 practice questions.
Oh no!
And at least 3 mock exams. You definitely want to make sure that you show up prepared, that you have studied, that you have gone through practice questions, and that you have completed and passed a few mock exams. So guys, just as a bonus, this is another resource that I utilize. It is a quick reference guide, also by Andy Crow, the same author of my exam prep book. And guys, I found this to be very helpful. It's a trifold, but it provides a very high level of all of the information that you're going to need to know for the exam. So you have your foundational concepts, your project roles, you have your organization types and project management power, you got your process framework here, you got your integration management, takes you through all of the 10 knowledge areas, your integration management, your scope management, you got your schedule management, cost management, quality, resource, communication, risk management, procurement, stakeholder management, and it also gives you some tips to take into account before the exam and during the exam. So I found this trifold to also be very helpful. I purchased this from Amazon. I'll also add a link below down in the description bar. Okay guys, so those were my 5 tips for passing the PMP. I do wish you all well. I know that it is not an easy exam, but I was able to pass on my first attempt with utilizing those 5 practical tips that I just shared with you. So guys, give me a thumbs up if you found this content helpful. You can find me on social media at Crystal Monique Beauty. Before you go guys, please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care. Bye.